justice. There is no other verdict. There is no other penalty. Because never before in the history of this city has such a vile, cold, brutal, inexcusable, premeditated murder been committed. Gentlemen of the jury, my office, representing the outraged citizens of Cook County, dedicates itself to presenting the evidence in this case in such a manner that the perpetrators of this crime shall be convicted and hanged as swiftly as possible.
Any further disturbance of this nature, and I shall order the bailiffs to clear the court. Defense will make its opening remarks to the jury.
Please, defense will waive its remarks to the jury. The court will approve the intent at this time to change the plea to guilty. What? We're changing the plea to guilty with mitigating circumstances.
It took 6 days to implement that jury.
Don't worry, I'll have that jury back, but the mitigating circumstances even sound like insanity.
State's attorney will approach the bench, please. The court accepts your change of plea to guilty for the defense, Mr. Well. Before I dismiss the jury, may I see both of you gentlemen in chambers? Be a short recess.
And unless you completely lost your faculties, sir, I demand an explanation for this fantastic about face.
Mr. Strauss, Mr. Welles has every right to question my judgment. I've taken a big responsibility. If I'm going to persuade anybody of the boy's emotional instability, it's going to be the judge alone. We hired you on your reputation as a manipulator of jury.
Of course we did. That's your reputation.
In that courtroom today. Studying the jury. We wouldn't have had a chance with it.
I can't understand any of this. Will what you did today help Artie?
I think so, Mrs. Strauss. I hope so. I hope so. See, here in Illinois, when you plead guilty, you don't have to have a jury. And that means that I'll be talking just to the judge. I hope you'll be more tolerant for me, a jury.
Hope, but I think they should know that if it becomes a question of actual insanity, a jury will have to decide. But you throw the jury out, and the judge will have to recall a jury. But what else is the psychiatrist's testimony except insanity? Functional disorders, emotional imbalance, psychotic. They are either insane or they are not. A sane person can't commit an insane act. And after what you did today,
Strauss, I'll understand if you rather have another lawyer.
No, sir, lawyer. Now, best friend between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning? Ridiculous.
You're committed to you, sir. And I think we make a trek. I hope you're wrong. I really do, Mr. Steiner.
I object. I object, Your Honor. I object. I've said it 10 times and I say it again. The moment you admit evidence on insanity, this becomes a mock trial.
Nobody's mentioning insanity except you. Your Honor, all the defense is asking is a chance to present expert testimony on the mental condition of these two boys.
As a mitigating circumstance.
Your Honor.
It's just another word for insanity.
No, it's
And
not.
that evidence has to be presented to a jury.
Mr. Horn was virtually godlike missing without hearing a single word from Dr. Alwyn. Has already arrived at a conclusion which the testimony of the witness may not support.
Your Honor, defense counsel is making a mockery of procedure. I object to his...
Objection overruled. You may take the stand, Dr. Alwyn.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, can you tell us how far this tendency, what you call schizophrenia, progressed with Artie Strauss?
degree of exactitude. We do know the habit of lying, indulging in fantasies, which the boy developed in infancy, and progressed to the stage where he himself was having difficulty distinguishing between what is true and what is not.
That's right.
Your Honor, the prosecution moves a jury be impounded.
But why?
If Art Strauss cannot distinguish between what is true and what is not true, he cannot distinguish between right and wrong, and is therefore insane. Isn't that what you're saying, Doctor?
No, I don't believe so.
No,
Just a minute.
You're an expert and under oath. Is your
I
doctor
am cross-examining
or not?
this witness.
Under oath, I cannot answer that, sir. Insanity is a legal term, not a medical one. I'm a doctor, not a lawyer.
Motion denied.
Your witness, Mr. Horn.
Poppycock, Doctor. More psychiatric verbiage. Call it paranoia, call it anything you like. What it all adds up to in Judd Steiner is the feeling that nobody liked him. They had good reason not to.
Paranoia encompasses a very positive feeling of being right, and a strong neurotic suspicion of being persecuted because of those feelings.
Oh, it does, eh? Well, let me tell you something. For the past 10 days, in cross-examining you and your colleagues, I've had exactly those feelings. I know I'm right, and I have a distinct feeling of being persecuted by the defense. Do you think I should be committed?
Your Honor, I submit that if the subject to be debated here is Mr. Horn's sanity, for once I agree with him, only a jury could determine that. At the time of this meeting, you had a deep romantic attachment for another boy.
Yes, sir.
And yet you also feel a romantic attachment for Judd.
I felt he was alone and terribly unhappy.
I see him do Judd. Give any demonstration that you like choose a woman.
He kissed me.
That's all. No further advances.
There were, but they stopped.
Would you keep your voice up, Miss Evans? I couldn't hear you.
But they stopped.
I'm sorry, Miss Evans, but were they of such a nature as to make you determined never to see him again?
No. They were not.
You would have seen him again.
Yes.
Within a few hours after Miss Judd was arrested, how did your feelings toward him change then?
Of course. I realized that the unhappiness I sensed in him had caused him to commit a violent, insane crime.
And with this knowledge, would you still see him again?
Yes. I felt sorry for him then, and I feel sorry for him now.
No further question. This crime is the most fiendish, cold-blooded, inexcusable case the world has ever known. What Mr. Horn has told his court. Your Honor, I've been practicing law. Anyhow, for 45, 46 years. During all that time, I've never tried a case where the state's attorney did not say it was the most cold-blooded, inexcusable case ever. Certainly there was no excuse for the killing somebody calling case. There was also no reason for it. It wasn't for spite, hate, for money. It's a great misfortune in this case is money. If Your Honor should doom these boys to die, it'll be because my parents are rich. I hope I don't need to mention that I'll fight as hard for the poor as for the rich. If I come into this court alone, two ordinary, obscure defendants who've done what these boys have done, I've had been all this weirdness and notoriety, this sensational publicity. I said, Your Honor, I want to grant her a plea of guilty and let you sentence him to life imprisonment. Do you suppose the state's attorneys would raise their voices in protest? There's never been a case in Chicago where a plea of guilty, a boy under 21 has been sentenced to death. Your boys have diseased minds as plain as day. They say you can only get justice by shedding their last drop of blood. Isn't a lifetime behind prison bars enough for this mad act? And must this great public be regaled with the hanging? For the last 3 weeks, I've heard nothing but the cry of blood in this room. Heard nothing from the offices of the state's attorney but ugly hatred. For God's sake, are we crazy? If you hang these boys, you mean that in this land of ours, a court of law could not help but bow down to public opinion. As cruel a speech as he knew how to make, the state's attorney has told this court that we're pleading guilty because we're afraid to do anything else. Your Honor, that's true. Of course, I'm afraid to submit this case to a jury, and the responsibility must be divided by 12. No, Your Honor. These boys must hang. You must do it. It must be your own deliberate, cool, premeditated act. The state's attorney has laughed at me for talking about children's fantasies, but what does he know about childhood? What do I know? Is there any one of us who hasn't been guilty of some kind of delinquency in his youth? How many men are there here today? Lawyers and congressmen, judges, and even state's attorneys who haven't been guilty of some kind of wild act in youth. If the consequences didn't amount to much and we didn't get caught, that was our good luck. This was something different. This was the mad act of 2 sick children who belong in a psychopathic hospital. Do I need to argue it? Is there any man with a decent regard for human life, with the slightest bit of heart, doesn't understand it? We're told it was a cold-blooded killing because they planned and schemed. Yes, but here are officers of the state who for months have planned and schemed and contrived to take these boys' lives. Scheming. Your Honor, I've become obsessed with this deep feeling of hate and anger. I've been fighting it, battling with it till it's fairly driven me mad. What about this matter of crime and punishment anyway? Through the centuries, our laws have been modified. Till now men look back with horror at the hangings and killings of the past. It's been proven that as the penalties are less barbarous, the crimes are less frequent. Do I need to argue with Your Honor that cruelty only breeds cruelty? That every religious leader who's held up as an example has taught us that if there's any way to kill evil, it's not by killing men. If there's any way of destroying hatred and all that goes with it, it's not through evil and hatred and cruelty. It's through charity, love, understanding. This is a Christian community, so-called. Is there any doubt that these boys would be safe in the hands of the founder of the Christian religion? I think anyone who knows me knows how sorry I am for little Paulie Kessler. Knows that I'm not saying it simply to talk. Marty Judd enticed him into a car, and when he struggled, they hit him over the head and killed him. They did that. They poured acid on him to destroy his identity, put the naked body in a ditch. If killing these boys would bring him back to life, I'd say, let them go. I think their parents would say so too. Only they and I would want to release them as the isolated from society. And ask this court to shut them into a prison for life. Any cry for more goes back to the hyena. Goes back to the beasts in the jungle. This court is told to give them the same mercy that they gave their victim. The honor of our state is not kinder, more human, more considerate, more intelligent than the mad act of these 2 sick boys. And I'm sorry that I've lived so long. I know that any mother, maybe the mother of little Kessler when he left home, went to school, never came back. I know that any mother might be the mother of Heidi Strauss, Judd Steiner. Maybe that in some ways these parents are more responsible than their children. I guess the truth is that all parents can be criticized. And these might have done better if they hadn't had so much money. I do not know. The state's attorney has pictured the putting of the poor little dead body in the ditch. Your Honor, I can only think now of taking these two boys, 18 and 19, pinning them in a cell, checking for days, hours, and minutes, until they're wakened in the gray of the morning and led to the scaffold. Their feet tied, black caps drawn over their heads, stood on a trap, the hangman pressing a spring. I could see them fall through space. I could see them stopped by the rope around their necks. It would be done, of course, in the name of justice. Justice. Who knows what it is? Do I know? Does Your Honor know? Can Your Honor tell me what I deserve? Can Your Honor appraise yourself and say what you deserve? Do you think you can cure the hatreds and maladjustments of the world by hanging them? Mr. Horn says that if we hang Hardy and Judd, there'll be no more killing. The world has been one long slaughterhouse from the beginning until today. And the killing goes on and on and on. Why not read something? Why not think? Instead of blindly shouting for death. Kill. Because everybody's talking about the case. Because their parents have money. Kill them. Will that stop other sick boys from killing? It's taken the world a long, long time to get to even what it is today. Your Honor, if you hang these boys, you turn back to the past. I'm pleading for the future. Not merely for these boys, but for all boys, for all people. I'm pleading not for these two lives, but life itself. For a time when we could learn to overcome hatred with love. When we could learn that all life is worth saving. And that mercy is the highest attribute of men. Yes, I'm pleading for the future. In this court of law. I'm pleading for love.
Court stands in recess until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Good clip. Orsen Welles there in Compulsion, also starring Dean Stockwell. 59 is the year, I think. So thanks for watching that clip. And if you would like to support me or my channel, a QR code for Buy Me a Coffee will display below. Thank you. Bye bye now.